Have you ever imagined what it would feel like to have a mind so sharp, so unshakable, that people don't just respect you? They fear misunderstanding you? Not fear in the sense of violence. Fear in the sense of awe. Fear in the sense that your presence alone reminds them of their own weaknesses, their own contradictions, their own lack of control. Nietzsche once wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will often be lonely and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself." These are not empty words. They are a mirror, a reflection of your battles, your silences, the quiet strength you've carried while the world tried to drown your voice. Think about it. Every time you refused to follow the herd, every time you walked your own path, you tasted both the loneliness and the freedom Nietzsche spoke of. Here's the truth. People fear what they cannot control. They fear the person who cannot be bribed, broken, or bent. And when your mind becomes disciplined, unyielding, and free, when you own yourself completely, it unsettles them. Because you are no longer a mirror of their lies. You are a reminder of the truth they run from. So today, I'm going to give you 5 principles, rooted in Nietzsche's philosophy, in psychology, and in the darkest corners of human nature, that will help you forge a mind so powerful it terrifies those who try to manipulate you. This is not arrogance. This is strength. It's about creating a mental fortress so unshakable that no insult, no betrayal, no rejection, no manipulation, nothing can pierce through you. Before we begin, I want you to do something powerful. Like this video, not for me, but as a small declaration that you are stepping into a new version of yourself. Subscribe so you never miss the next piece of this transformation. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Finally, drop this in the comments right now. My mind is a fortress. Say it, write it, own it. Because by the end of this video, you won't just believe it, you'll be it. Now, take a breath. Close your eyes and picture yourself walking into a room. You don't shout. You don't need to. Your presence is felt before you even open your mouth. Conversations shift. Eyes turn. And people sense, without knowing why, that you are not someone to be underestimated. That is where we are going. Now let's begin. Nietzsche warned us, if you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze back into you. Most people flinch at that thought. They run from their shadows, numbing themselves with noise, drowning in distractions, pretending their scars don't exist. But the truth? Those who rise, the unbreakable ones, are forged in that very abyss. The abyss is not a place of weakness. It is a crucible. When you walk into it, trembling and bare, you discover that fear has edges you can hold, mold, and sharpen into strength. Once you've sat with heartbreak, betrayal, or despair, the little jabs of the world lose their sting. What is an insult to someone who has stared death, loss, or abandonment in the face and refused to bow? Dark psychology calls it exposure. The fire burns less when you step into it willingly. Sit in silence with your demons. Write down the truths that terrify you. Let the cave echo back your fears until you realize the echo is yours and it has always been under your control. Picture it. You descend into the black, air heavy, heart racing. But then Your vision adapts. The darkness bends. It no longer owns you. You own it. And when you return to the light, people can feel it without you saying a word. You have been somewhere they cannot follow. Nietzsche once thundered, "He who cannot command himself will always be a servant." And look at the world. You see it everywhere. People enslaved to their moods, shackled by their impulses. One cruel word sends them spiraling. One rejection breaks them. One flash of approval lifts them like puppets on a string. They are not living. They are being played. But you must be different. You must burn those strings and walk free. Do not mistake detachment for emptiness. It is not about killing your emotions. It is about mastering them. Anger will still rise. Pain will still sting. Fear will still whisper. But you will not bow. You will not be ruled. You will not let another human being decide the rhythm of your heartbeat. Detachment is power, the kind of power that makes you untouchable. Imagine yourself as an ocean. The world thrashes at the surface, storms, waves, tempests. Most people drown there, lost in their own chaos. But you dive beneath, down where it is silent, down where it is still. The storm rages above, but it cannot touch you. And here lies the secret. Once people realize they cannot provoke you, cannot sway you, cannot pull you apart, they begin to fear you. Your calm unsettles them. Your silence becomes a force. Your restraint becomes a weapon. And without lifting a finger, you command the very power they have spent their lives begging for. Most people never meet themselves. They hide behind masks, shifting their faces for society, stacking excuses on top of excuses for why they are not who they should be. And yet, deep inside, they feel it, the quiet rot of weakness, the weight of unspoken lies. Self-deception is the silent killer of potential. This is where the strong separate from the rest, in ruthless self-honesty. Psychology calls it self-deception bias, the brain's trick to shield the ego from pain. But what shields you also shackles you. If you never face your cowardice, your vanity, your hidden betrayals, you will never evolve. Only those who rip the veil away gain real power. Nietzsche thundered in his writings, "Become who you are." But how can you ever become if you cannot even look yourself in the eye? How can you transform if every day you lie to the mirror? The truth may sting like acid, but it is the sting that cleans the wound. Picture a blacksmith hammering molten steel, each strike violent, each strike merciless, yet each strike necessary. That is what self-honesty does. It smashes delusion, burns weakness, and leaves behind only the blade of your true self. Others will avoid this fire. They will sense in you what they fear most, a mirror that exposes them. That is why your presence unsettles the world, because you dared to face the truth they run from. Silence. The one thing most people cannot endure. They scramble to fill it, rambling, explaining, overreacting, because silence exposes them. It forces them to face themselves, to hear their own trembling thoughts echo back. And this is where the strong gain their edge. What the weak run from, the strong wield. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a blade. Psychologists call it the pause of power. Attackers want noise. Manipulators want reaction. Insulters want fire. They crave your loss of control. But when you meet their chaos with nothing but silence, the weight shifts. Suddenly, they are left with their own words, their own poison, their own reflection. and that reflection destroys them faster than you ever could. It was Nietzsche who warned, "Silence is worse. All truths that are kept silent become poisonous." But he also knew silence carries a second face. Used with cowardice, it rots the soul. Used with intent, it becomes lethal. Silence can suffocate. Silence can dominate. Silence can shatter a man more than a scream ever will. Think of a lion. It does not roar to prove its dominance. It sits in stillness, eyes locked, breath measured, and that stillness is enough to paralyze prey. Your silence must carry that same weight. Not passive, not weak, but charged, deliberate, unshakable. And in the quiet, something else happens. You hear yourself. You grow sharper. You become unreadable. And nothing unsettles people more than mystery. They fear what they cannot predict. They fear what they cannot control. They fear the one who can sit in silence and make the whole room tremble. The majority of people will live and die as obedient shadows. They kneel to rules they never wrote, traditions they never questioned, and morals they never chose. They move like sheep in the herd, quiet, docile, terrified of stepping out of line. And then they wonder why their lives feel borrowed, why their hearts feel restless. To live by another's code is not life, it is servitude. True strength begins the moment you burn the script handed to you, the moment you carve your own commandments into stone. This is where the dark psychology of the human spirit rises. Society does not reward independence, it punishes it. It cages it, because nothing frightens the herd more than a free mind that refuses to bow. Nietzsche struck the world with a truth most could not stomach. You have your way. I have my way. As for the right way, it does not exist. There is no universal path, no sacred rule book. The only law is the one you write for yourself, and the courage to live it without apology. Your code becomes your compass. It tells you what you stand for. It tells you what you refuse. It tells you when to stay silent, when to rise, and when to unleash war. And when you live by it, the world cannot bend you with shame, cannot chain you with guilt, cannot break you with pressure. See it clearly, a lone wolf standing on a mountain peak. The valleys below are crowded with sheep, bleating in unison, worshiping the safety of their chains. But the wolf does not bow, does not blend. It howls, not to beg for approval, not to seek permission, but to declare its freedom. That howl is defiance. That howl is sovereignty. That howl is what it means to truly live. To build a mind that terrifies, you must walk where others refuse. You must embrace the abyss until it bends to you. You must master detachment until nothing can shake you. You must rip the masks off your own face with ruthless self-honesty. You must turn silence into a weapon sharper than any blade. And finally, you must create a code so unbreakable that no guilt, no shame, no voice of the herd can touch you. This is not arrogance. This is power. A power forged in the crucible of self-conquest. A power that does not need applause, does not need validation. It breathes on its own. And when people sense it in you, they don't just respect you. They hesitate. They watch their words. They fear disappointing you, misunderstanding you, underestimating you, because they know you are not like them. You have walked through fire and come back steel. If this message struck something inside you, don't stay silent. Claim it. Drop your affirmation in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to wake up. And subscribe for more truths that cut deeper than comfort. Your mind is a fortress. Protect it, sharpen it, rule it. For in the end, the greatest weapon the world will ever fear is you.